I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Rock bottom make a man and some pressure make a gemstone. Trying to put $1 to my name like Creflo. Niger boy, late to the game, it's in the blood flow. And I'm from the south, it's thick skin and tough bone. Big attitude through big lips with gusto. Trust no kings, that's why they tried to crush souls. But it's IGBO, when the dust blow, this old head be standing there. No silver, just gold. Crack no books on the hustle, I was born to grind. Yo, scared of your potential, I'm adorned with mine. 30 times around the sun, man, of course I shine. My legacy will not dwarf with time. And in my daughter's eyes, it's basic, I must not say quit. Every day sees a present like a Rob St. Nick. Walk a fine line between tenacious and patient. I can't slip, I'm fighting clocks and they can't win.
I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Impeccably I flow, hardest raps you know, breaking status quo, reaping what I sow, artistry like Django. Get it from my mama, hip so thick that I need tempo. Personality, spicy body banging like a bongo. Cause black women been it since Timbuktu, since Pharaoh. Sponge rollers and hot combs, lips, cheeks and brow bones. If you ain't for the culture, then please stay out of my zone. These little dummy rappers could never grace my headphones. See, I'm from a place in space where ain't no storytelling, you just had to have been there. If you want the battle, ain't no problem, stay where I got so much experience, I can't even play fair. But I'ma keep evolving and growing and hurting feelings and showing you need endurance to go in. I got mileage on this pen, I've been busy cause I've been out here schooling all these kids. Took 3 decades to have this glow up that I did.
I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. Turn all of my
shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Arthur.
Boy, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinning.
You mean shining?
Shh! You wanna get sued?
Judgment, Arthur.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, boss. I love him when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. It's so good to see all of you guys tonight. Happy Friday. I know it's a little later, so we're into Saturday for some of us on the East Coast, but it's so good to see all of you guys tonight, and I hope you all are doing fantastic. I hope you got a chance to catch the live that I did with Jen earlier. It was really great. She did a great job up there. As always, I just love listening to Jen. She had me laughing my butt off, in the beginning there. And it's mostly out of ridiculousness, right? Like a lot of this stuff is getting quite ridiculous, but where's the accountability, right? Where's the accountability? Because there's no reason that anybody should be at odds with anybody at this time when Katie and Chris are the last one with Sebastian it should be all eyes on them. And, for the sake of argument, I've kind of been saying, like, from the beginning, if law enforcement says Chris wasn't there, well, maybe Chris wasn't there. But, there's a lot of supporting evidence, and Chris himself, says things like, we saw Sebastian, or we did this, or we would have heard. We, right? And I'm not speaking French. Well, not yet. You're gonna have to maybe excuse my French for tonight. But that's later. Good to see you, Chuchi. Thanks so much for being here. I so appreciate your support. And Gail is here. Thank you so much, Gail. We are Devlin and Sebastian's army. It's so good to see you. And little Miss Sharon is here. Thank you so much, Gail. Also, oh, okay. I was saying Chuchi. Chuchi, I saw your comment and I said Gail. And also, I see Maria is here, and thank you for being here, Maria. Also, we have Cinderella. Cinderella is here, and Sandy is here. So good to see you, Sandy, Kelly Holcomb. And I was trying to pop up everybody's comments earlier. Maui is here. Good to see you, Maui. And Holly, good to see you. And Bo. And we have Autumn here tonight. So good to see all of you guys. I don't want to miss anybody. Hey, Animal. Good to see you. And Detroit Rock City is in the house. Good to see you, Detroit. And Maui is here, and so is Kylie and Stephanie. Thank you all so much for being here. I did post a video tonight of appreciation because I got a couple of people who had sent over a Cash App and then a couple of Venmos that I did not say thank you for. So I wanted to, well, not formally anyways. I had seen them when they popped into the email. I have a lot of my other apps on a different phone, just to save storage space. So, because the apps can take up a lot of room there. So I just switch them over to the other side. Hey, good to see you, Justice for Noog. Thank you for being here. And YouTuber is here with Deanna. Hey, Deanna, good to see you. It's so good to see all you guys. Hello, Sunshine. Sebastian, we are looking for you. That's right. Sebastian, we are looking for you. Your dad's looking for you. Um, when you have a missing child, I don't see how you would ever be able to stop, how you would be able to sleep. It would just be never ending, right? It just it's just not even fathomable. First of all, we just don't ever think that somebody will go missing. That is never on the list of things that you look for or think about in life, right? You don't think about, well, what if somebody kidnaps my kid? You just don't really think about that kind of stuff. Maybe if you watch true crime, because we all know that that can happen and we see it all the time. So of course it does make us think and wonder. But when it happens, I'm sure it's a completely different ball game, right? Speculating versus actually being in that position. So, Deanna, it's so good to see you. She says, how does that make sense? Mom says all his shoes are accounted for. I'm not going to say he's barefoot. I know. And after he says, I'm not going to say he's barefoot, he does that doe-eyed look and he shakes his head no. Deanna, and that's what's weird to me. Like he's really trying to solidify things to whoever he's talking to. He's trying to convince them that, his mom is saying this, but I'm not going to say that he's barefoot. And it does leave us with a lot of questions, right? It makes me wonder, did the sheriff believe, sorry, he's the sheriff now, but he was chief deputy. Did he back then believe Katie's story? Right? That's what his mom is saying, but I'm not going to say that, right? Is kind of the way I look at it. I didn't always see it that way, but like I said, he really tried to seem convincing. Now, the police can and will lie to people, right? In order for them to be able to keep things close to the vest. Some of them choose not to talk at all, right? And then some of them choose to share things with the public to kind of spark interest and to see if possibly they can have help of the public. So I can see a couple of reasons why both would be important. I think a good mixture of both is important, especially when, it's 2 years in. Maybe give us a little bit more details and maybe we can help. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So, Coffee Crime and Cats, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let's see, guys. I think I am a little bit behind. Just bear with me in the chat. Hello, Bling and Beezy and the Heezy. I saw you earlier. Hope Floats, good to see you, Hope Floats. And I think I got everybody. Oh, there's Nani. Hey, Nani, good to see you. And I said hello to Justice for Noob. Hello, Magic Star. Good to see you. Hey, NorCal SoGal. So nice to have you here. LE, by the time they spend all or a little time on the scene, they have a reasonable idea of what happened. I believe that as well. I believe that, Marion, because in the beginning, I'll just say this. In the beginning, they were looking over all the footage, right? Because people were sending it in, they were asking for it, they were going door to door to get it. And so, in my opinion, in a neighborhood like that, people can afford cameras, camera systems. My first red flag, if I was a police officer, is that Katie works for Brinks Home Security. So if I said, ma'am, what do you do for a living, right? To Katie. Now, maybe that wasn't one of the first questions asked. I bet it wasn't. But then after you're, getting to know her a little bit better, that would be a red flag for me. If she said, I work for Brinks Home Security, yet she has no security system, that would just be alarming to me, right? I mean, I would think to myself, okay, well, that's weird. And I would note that. Um, Especially when you want me to believe that all your doors and windows were locked and nothing was tampered with on the exterior of the building, yet your son's not here, right? So that would definitely be something that I would take note of if I was an officer. Who counts shoes? Katie and Sebastian had the same shoes on. Yeah, well, and I mean, you know, I don't know that anybody counts shoes either, Janet. I think that's a good point, and I certainly couldn't tell you how many pairs of shoes I have because I like shoes too much. So, um, I have a lot of shoes. I have a lot of different types of shoes too, right? I mean, you might have boots, you might have flip-flops, you might have sandals, you might have, tennis shoes. It just, I mean, the possibilities are endless. For a parent, I did think it was weird always that Sebastian only had 3 pairs of shoes, right? Because isn't that what they settled on was 3 pairs of shoes? And Katie was like, well, his feet were growing, but I still, was surprised by the number. And maybe that's just because I like shoes. I mean, it could be just that. Poppy Love, so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Nani says if EC had a lick of sense, there's no way he actually believes Sebastian left on his own. I believe that too, Nani. I do. I think that this is a picture. Actually, the reason why I have this up because I'm covering Jack and Lily up because I did this background a long time ago when I was also talking about Jack and Lily. His shirt actually says detective on it in this picture. And Eric Craddock was a detective. He has gone to college. He is not stupid. Do I think that he's arrogant? Yes. Do I think that he can be lazy? Yes. And the reason I'm saying that is because, well, I'll tell you, the reason I'm saying that is because it's a sleepy little town. And I'm going to show it to you because, courtesy of Texana, she's gotten a picture of the area where the street, view of where everybody will be gathering in order to show love and respect to Sebastian. Now, I went to the Pig Fest, right? And I am a big believer of reading the room. So when you have, hey, forget me not, when you have family and little kids around and people are eating their food, it's not probably the best time to start streaming people, right? Because it's kind of rude. I'll never forget at my friend's wedding, everybody was eating and my other friend got really pissed at the photographer because she was like videotaping and taking pictures of people while, you have like a full mouth of food. And she's like, "Could you please wait?" Like, she's so funny. She was like, "Could you please not do that while we're eating?" And, kind of a thing. And it's about reading the room and finding the moment to gather, that information or get that picture, right? And so in the spirit of that, and then we had Sebastian's classmates who were serving the food and being really respectful to Seth and, giving him care and love and support. I just didn't feel that it was necessary to do that. Sometimes it's better to be in the moment and take it all in and understand what's happening, right? Feel it. And that wasn't the time or the place, right? And nobody bothered anybody. And it wasn't, I mean, I'm not going to say it wasn't awkward at first, but, you know, um, again, you're reading the room, right? You're not just going to go in there guns a-blazing, for lack of a better way to say it. You're not going to go in there and start trouble and be disrespectful in an environment where people are trying to celebrate a fall festival. You're just not going to do that, right? It's not appropriate, it's not proper, and it's a good way to upset people. And if that's the goal, then you got it, right? There you go, bingo. Great job. Pat yourself on the back, but really all you're doing is embarrassing yourself and making a fool out of your own self. And do people want to make a fool out of themselves? I certainly don't. Brenda, good to see you. And I do want to represent Sebastian in a positive way, in a way that people will remember him and not a bunch of drama. I want them to see his beautiful smile. I want them to know that he was 15 when he went missing. He just turned 15 years old and he's been gone for 2 years, right? And if his mom is saying he went barefoot or none of his shoes were missing is what she said, that's a concern because I'm here to tell you, you cannot walk in that area without shoes on. So, how far could he have gotten? It's absolutely sad and it's heartbreaking. And Seth is going through a tremendous amount of pain at this time. And I think the best thing that we can do is be supportive. But yet we have someone who is absolutely batshit crazy and probably needs a mental evaluation. And I think that would probably be the best solution for that person personally. But I also think that law enforcement and the court system in that area needs to start recognizing what is happening, right? In this case. And if this person is continuing to harass Seth, even after she lost to him in court, that again is embarrassing yourself and you're making a fool out of yourself. And then you want to get upset and you want to make these nasty posts. And this has been going on and on and on. And I honestly had no idea the severity of this, you know? And she was the last one with him, Janet, and that's the problem is that and then Katie has never given us an explanation that has fit, right? An explanation that we can say, "Okay, I understand that." Right? And it's just like even today, I asked Jen, I said, "So how did this all transpire?" Right? Because you kind of have to understand the situation. Jen didn't take it offensively. She didn't dance around the question. She answered me straightforwardly and said, this person is the one that tried to sue Seth for $25,000. And I said, oh, that's a lot of money, right? And for what? And I've yet to see any indication that Seth was even in the vicinity of this woman, right? But the people that were treating her with kindness. They were just asking her to follow the rules. You have to conform to society at certain point, especially when you're grown. You have to follow the rules, otherwise you're in the wrong. If you always stay in the right and you just continue on and follow the rules, then you won't ever have to worry about it. But if you decide that you're just going to go on, do whatever you want, well, that's where there's some problems that come in. Right? And so when you're asked, please wait or please refrain from doing that, and you don't say, okay, sure, you just go on your merry way, that's not only disrespectful, but again, it's going to cause more issues than it's worth, right? Because you just say, okay, I understand that. But instead, this deranged individual took it as, I don't know, maybe she's being defiant. Maybe she's an anarchist. I don't know. But when I kind of got a deeper understanding of the situation, it helped me identify what was going on, right? Because I didn't really know how bad it was. And then I started looking at some of the posts, and yes, I heard of this lady when the lawsuit first came out. But again, because I'm focusing on helping find Sebastian, I think it's a good thing that I didn't really know too much about it. Um, and I'm just going to be honest, every single time that I've talked to Seth, it hasn't been about anything but finding Sebastian. It breaks my heart. I wish I could help. You just want to help, and then there's people that just want to hurt the situation. And so, I wanted to talk to you guys about bad apples tonight and how one could spoil the bunch, but as long as you take that apple away from the other apples as soon as possible, then it won't spoil the bunch. So we can't let this person ruin a beautiful thing that we're planning here. I mean, I'm refusing to allow for it, Shadow, thank you for being here. And sometimes, um, just ignoring the problem can make it bigger, and that's obviously what's happened because no one's ever talked about this, in my opinion, crazy person. I understand that she was on Queen Bee. I don't watch Queen Bee though, so I have no idea like what her panel guests are unless somebody was to send it and say, "Hey, watch this," and they give me a timestamp, right? I mean, that's usually how it goes. Hello, Ann Reynolds. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So, but like I said yesterday, who is this person and why are they doing all of this? Um, if I thought this person was trying to help, but they really didn't understand that they weren't helping, it would be a different situation, in my opinion. But instead, what I've gathered is this person is absolutely attacking Seth 24/7. Now, we can all discuss topics, we can all speculate, we can all tell our opinions, which is a beautiful thing. And there's people who have fought for us to do that in this country. And so we should be grateful with that. But when it goes to a level and you're actually choosing to continuously hammer away at one individual, that becomes harassment, right? When the topic of conversation is always this person, there's some issues. And we're going to go over that, especially because these days, because of the way that people are so unhinged, sometimes what you say when you make threats against other people can be taken seriously because of the context and because of the goal. Um, and I do not understand why it's being allowed so far. And again, there were many occasions where things didn't happen. Like I said, when I was there, nothing happened. Nothing horrible happened. There wasn't any type of hateful situation. I mean, except for in the neighborhood, but that lady's again, you have to consider the source. These people are crazy, some of them, and they absolutely don't care if Sebastian's found, in my opinion. Janet says KP and CP should be in court for abuse. 5 CPS. Yeah, who allows Janet for that type of behavior to be unpunished? And I get that question a lot, or people will bring that up a lot here, and I don't know what to tell people because I don't know how anybody could abuse Sebastian. He's absolutely adorable, and the way that he was acting in the restaurant was not a child that needed to be disciplined corporally or otherwise. He was very well mannered. Um, and as sick as it sounds, you could tell that Katie seemed to not even like her own child. She was very rude to him. She looks like she's having more fun playing with Chris uh, and with Sebastian's toys, and he's missing, than she did at that restaurant. That's sick. In my opinion, that is utterly disgusting. In my opinion, the fact that Katie and Chris have never had a vigil or a remembrance for Sebastian, it's deplorable. It's not normal. It's the opposite of normal. And then they have this person who has been helping them harass Seth behind the scenes. Absolutely disgusting. And nobody's supposed to talk about it? Nobody should point it out. Nobody should warn people before they go and drive across the country to come and support Sebastian that there is a completely unhinged woman on the loose. There's something wrong with her, you guys. There is a major malfunction, a disconnect, but I know where the connection is. It's to Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Because Chris was there. Chris was at the court house orchestrating this. So was his mother. And that's not okay. That is definitely not okay. And when you're taking this sick woman and making her do these things for you, that's even worse, right? Because maybe pay someone, allegedly, in my opinion, to do these things who actually has a couple of, marbles up there. It's very unbelievable the way they take advantage of people, left and right. Why do they hang out with people who do drugs? Because people who do drugs will do dirty deeds for cheap. That's why, in my opinion. Why do they like hanging out with hoodlums? Because hoodlums will do things that they think are cool, so that way they get recognition from their other hoodlum friends. It's a it's a mentality. Autumn says no way those actions are acceptable, and they're not. It's not right at all. Seth is trying to find his son, and they're completely trying to derail him from it because they don't want him to find him. They don't want us talking about Sebastian. Katie's a liar when she says, I don't want him to fall to the bottom of a feed. She said that in the Only Hands interview, where they only showed their hands and they said they were far too emotional to get on camera. And she said that, and she has yet to do anything to keep his name out there. Nothing. It's always Seth. It's always Seth going on camera. It's always him begging and pleading for Sebastian. When has she done it? It's the most despicable thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. There's so many red flags. I agree. How could Eric Craddock and anyone else not see the truth? It is either very concerning, alarming, even for a sheriff's department and TBI not to see and hear everything we are, in my opinion. Poppy Love, that's my biggest problem. Because if Eric Craddock knew on day 2 that Katie was absolutely lying about the shoes, then why has he not put more effort forth? I swear I would live, breathe, and eat this case just because of that if I was him. And maybe I'm just a stubborn asshole. But I would be pissed off at them doing this to me, ruining my education, all the years I worked. Why would he allow for them to do this? Because it's falling back on him no matter what. He's the sheriff. And that's what happens when you're in a position of power. Then everybody looks to you like, hey, what are we going to do? You're the leader. You're not going to do anything about this. What's going on? That's natural. And to a certain degree, he must understand that. But I would be pissed off if I was him. Day in and day out, it's trouble and chaos and drama because Chris and Katie create it. They absolutely create it. Hey, Joe. Fun fact, the world doesn't revolve around a single one of us. Thank you, Magic Star, for for the reminder. Thank you. Because no, it doesn't. It doesn't revolve around a single one of our asses. You know? The husbands. That's cute. NorCal, SoCal. SoCal. My goodness. Isn't that the lady that tried to sue Seth? Yeah, she did. She did. And it was settled in October. So that lady, Detroit, she tried to sue Seth for $25,000. Didn't, do anything. Didn't get a dime. But they cost. Well, I'll just say they because it was Chris Proudfoot that was also in attendance and his mother. They cost Seth time, precious time looking for Sebastian. Precious energy that he could have been spending looking for Sebastian. But instead he was using that valuable time, precious time to find his son to worry about going to court and preparing with this complete lunatic, in my opinion. You're a lunatic, lady. You're a lunatic. You're fucking bananas. You have major issues and you look like the green hoodie. If I was you, I would at least tell us if you're the green hoodie or not. That would be nice, right? Because we're asking questions because we don't know the answer. And for you to automatically pop off. But then again, you're not just automatically popping off because if I go back and look at all of your shit, you've been doing this for months and months and months. And it's every day relentlessly posting about Seth. Get a hobby, get a life, do something else. Find something better to do with your time. And no, I don't think that any of us are going to be posting flyers for anybody but Sebastian. This gathering of voices is for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That's who it's for. Thank you, Maui. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Jen is awesome. She is just awesome. And, if it was me and I had to go to court and all this stuff, and, it's not even have to, it's there for moral support because that's what friends do for each other. And if your friend is struggling and they're going at stuff alone, that's not, right to leave them to do it. So, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. But I wanted to pull this in for you guys because I'm going to show you the flyer for the Gathering of Voices. And it's not for other, for the other kids that are missing. For one, we're trying to bring awareness in that area, and we're asking for something to be done about it, about Sebastian's case specifically. We're not asking about any other case because Sumner County Sheriff's Office does not hold jurisdiction in any of the other cases, right? If Summer Wells, that poor sweet little girl, here, let me show Summer first. If she had someone like Seth, then maybe we would be gathering for her too. But it's not fair to take away from what Seth is doing because you want to stir the pot and act like a complete fool. How dare you ask a father of a missing child to make it about another kid? I mean, duh. You're ridiculous. You sound like an idiot. You're a complete imbecile. Get a life. I think she might be involved somehow too, Nicole Carlisle. Thank you for being here. I'm just asking a question and I'm surprised at the answer. It was very concerning. And I'm like, well, that's weird because I thought maybe she would come out and say, well, that's not me, right? Would you do me a favor and let everybody know that's not me? But she didn't do that. And it's very odd. Orin, yeah, Orin and Orson, yeah, California. I've heard of that case too, girl mom. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean, it's so sad because there's so many missing kids, right? There's so many that don't get the exposure. There's so many kids that we don't even know about. Sometimes they don't even get reported. Sometimes, it's in a very poverty-stricken area. The same thing, in Devlin Tate's case. That's why he doesn't get the exposure. He just doesn't. For one, he's not little and he's older. And then another reason in my opinion is because there isn't any money for it in it for people, right? um Everybody's on disability in his family. Many of them don't work, and things like that. So, and that's what's so sad. People fall through the cracks. Kids fall through the cracks all the time. And it is good to do an awareness. I would completely applaud if Chris and Katie decided to go out there with loads and tons of flyers with their friend Texana and pass them out for all the children, Sebastian too. But this gathering of voices that is being planned is for Sebastian, right? It's not for any other kids out there. And that should be respected. Again, nobody should ever make Seth feel guilty that he's trying to find his own son and not worried about the other kids out there, right? I mean, he shares people's flyers, don't get me wrong, but he shouldn't be expected to care about other people's children on the day when it's been 2 years that his son's been missing. Hello, Diana. Thank you so much for coming in and hitting the like button. Hey, Catherine. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. If I miss anybody, just holler at me. Hey, Kylie. Good to see you. I'm sorry I'm going to be behind in chat tonight because I got a lot to get through with this. This is a lot to unpack, as they would say. It's a lot to unpack. I guess that's a TikTok saying. Let me go ahead. Hold on, guys. Let me get. I'm going to grab this really quick. I'm put it up here, but I need to grab a different background because I don't want to show little Lily and Jack in this one because we're not talking about them tonight. Although their scoundrel of a stepdad was, put in jail for a little while, so that was a good one. Here, this is an appropriate background. Hold on, let's watch, or let's put this one up here where we can see how the proud feet really act, and how someone can really, with a straight face, um, be okay with this behavior and making fun of Seth, who was outside. Oh, by the way, nothing bad happened when Seth was outside, but Miss Texana thinks that she's gonna go over there and cause trouble when there wasn't any trouble before. So, in my opinion, if she causes trouble when there wasn't any trouble before, that's gonna be on her, right? Because when Seth was there before, there wasn't any issues. He did go out there, he did speak his piece, he held out his banners, his signs, people helped out, and there wasn't any ruckus or chaos. It was a father asking for answers. And if she so decides, to turn it into her little clown show, I don't think that, she's going to be again doing herself any favors. She's going to be embarrassing herself. So, oh, I'm sorry, guys. This is not the one. I will show this one later. But let me go to my shorts. I forgot to upload it as a short. Alrighty. All right, good. You guys can see that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Sebastian's army won't give up and can't be intimidated. I made a little thumbnail for today or whatever, and I put it, I put on it, my name is Sebastian Rogers. Have you seen me? Right? Because he's the one that's important. I also like to have put our Sebastian's army lady who is side eyeing this person who is trying to throw a wrench in something special for Sebastian, and she should be ashamed of herself. But I know she's actually quite proud of herself. Okay. So this is Texana Fernandez. This is 2 days ago, right? I wish they would put the dates on these damn things, you know? Well, Karen, he is concerned about other people's kids, but on the 2-year anniversary, he is not going to be concerned about other people's kids that day. He's going to be concerned about finding his own kid. He should not be expected to care about everybody else's kids at this point. That is the most ridiculous crap I've ever heard in my life. In my opinion, nobody should ever have to feel like they're not Sebastian's a priority. Sebastian is a priority, not other missing children. So either way, this is 2 days ago. While content creators, YouTubers, and influencers are converging. I don't even know that that's a word, converging. Maybe it is. On Tennessee during the 3rd and 4th weeks of February, would you consider distributing flyers on behalf of Summer Wells and Fritz? I have no idea who Fritz is. I hope that he is found, she is found. I'm not sure who that person is. We're going there for Sebastian. I am driving from Florida to Tennessee for a second time for Sebastian. He's the reason I'm going there. I have t-shirts and hoodies that are saying look for Sebastian, that have his information on the back. I'm not going into Summer Wells's jurisdiction to ask for answers. So, no, I'm not going to give out a flyer for Summer Wells because there's nothing that Sheriff Craddock or Brandon Carter can do. Now the TBI, yes, if we were at the TBI headquarters, there would be a lot of kids that we could say are still missing, right? Like we could go in there and say Layla Santinello is still missing. You know? I'm sorry, Jen in Georgia. I know I'm always on late. But I was gonna go on earlier today, but I was on with Jen, and I'm glad I was, because um it's just I'm glad I have that understanding now. Because again, when I speak to or if when I've spoken to Seth, he doesn't talk about stuff like this. We talk about finding his son. And again, for him to be expected to, or any of us expected to, because I take this to me, this I'm a creator, I'm a YouTuber, I'm I I'm a true crime person. I don't consider myself an influencer. If I was doing my makeup and showing you my outfits, then maybe I would be influencing your decisions on that. But I just look at myself as somebody who likes true crime. Thank you, MST. And oh, thank you, Jen. And you know, I want to bring you the facts. I want to talk about subjects that are interesting to me. And I just didn't realize how bad this is because, guys, I'm only going to show you the last 2 days of her posts, but it's absolutely crazy the way that she's gone after Seth. And then she lost in the lawsuit, and she's continued on. And I don't know. It's quite disturbing. So again, she posts and she does multiple posts a day, right? I mean, there's times where I might repost people's stuff and you might see like 4 in a row from me or something like that if I'm quick scrolling through and I'm like, "Oh, I like what Smiley said. Oh, that's cool." Or, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and share what Kiki wrote," or, "Jen posted something interesting. I'm going to share it," right? Some days I go through and I'm like, "Wow, YouTube is really busy. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. I want to share it." Other days I don't share as much, right? Because I'm doing my own thing. I'm working on my own content. Some days I don't get a break to go scroll through. So I'm not always going to be posting. But this lady, I don't know, maybe she's got a second person that helps her because I can't keep up with posting and posting here and posting this and posting over here. I can't. I'm never going to do that. I don't know. I don't know how these people do it. Okay, so then we have her over here. Has your efforts been directed towards finding me, Sebastian? And it's the eye of the tiger. Does financial gain take precedence over personal relationships? What does that mean? She's directing that towards Seth's son. I'm mean to tell you. I'd be livid. Has your efforts been directed towards finding me, Sebastian? What a fucking creep. What a fucking creep. And as a matter of fact, I think this needs to be sent to law enforcement. I honestly do. Because this lady is so vocal and crazy that I thought she was going to come out and say, "No, that wasn't me. I'm not the green hoodie." Right? Well, little did I know that Chris and Miss Bowersox and everything were so heavily involved in this whole situation. Right? And then Katie wasn't there. So what happened to Katie? But I mean to tell you, if I was Katie and this woman was writing stuff about this to Sebastian, I'd be highly concerned if I was her. And I don't even know what financial gain. So she's saying that financial gain takes precedence over personal relationships. That makes no sense. You are whack. All right. This was also 2 days ago, right? She's doing this rapid manic posting, in my opinion. Absolutely crazy. As the week of February 22nd through February 27th, 2026 approaches, please consider where the associates of Mr. Seth Rogers may congregate near the Sumner County Sheriff's Department. Well, let's see. There's not a whole lot of places right down the road that you can congregate. There's across the street and there's an area out front. So, I mean, the obvious place would be where Seth was before, right? And I'll take this down right quick so you can see it. But that's where he was, in front of the sheriff's department. And then Jeff was down on this corner of the street, holding the sign out for people that were coming back and forth on the one side. But guys, this place is a sleepy little sheriff's office where nothing is going on, nothing at all. I mean, yes, these are all vehicles that belong to the people who are working in the sheriff's department. You can see the parking signs right here, right? And then there's a parking lot over on the other side. But down this road here, it's all right in front of the sheriff's department. So that's where it's going to be held, right? But why is she taking a picture of the area where we're holding a gathering of voices? I mean, I don't really know what to make of that at all. It doesn't make any sense. None of this does. And then she says like this: given the diverse group of individuals associated with the upcoming activity, what is a diverse individual? Is that a racist undertone? Is that a socioeconomic blow or dig? What is that? Because in my opinion, that's a strange thing to say, diverse group. Yeah, Seth doesn't care who comes to support and look for his son. That's just a given, right? That's just a given. Tully fell asleep. I don't know, Tully. I'm second guessing it because of her comments and her post. I think she resembles in her face, her height, everything could match, and that's allegedly, in my opinion, you know. Yes, Hope Floats is on Facebook. Yeah, but she also posts things to YouTube as well. So, and she also likes to go on, the different panels and talk. I know that Granny's Watching was definitely liking her posts back when I first looked at one of her posts came across my feed and I'm like, I don't know who this Texana Fernandez is, and I saw Sebastian's picture, so I clicked onto it. Because usually when people make something for Sebastian, I share it on my channel because it's usually something nice. And so I give people, when people make something like a thumbnail or, a flyer or something for Sebastian, I share it, or sometimes I'll put it in my videos, right? I have one that Smiley made, the one that says, please find me. I found it today in my phone. It's still in there, right? It's Sebastian and, it says, please find me. And I always loved that. I thought it was really beautiful that she made that for him, and I put it in my video. But anyway, I looked at what she had to say, and then you have Granny's watching under it, and she's talking all of this crap, weird shit like she was in the previous post that I just read. Calling Sebastian by name, "Are you looking for me?" Oh my God. Gross. It's enough to make someone sick. She has the nerve to tell other people they're diverse. And the upcoming activity is a gathering of voices for Sebastian. Respect for public service vehicles and local residents is appreciated. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? All of us are driving cars there. So what are we going to do to other people's cars if our cars are sitting there, right? I think it's appreciated if the Foot Clan doesn't slash any tires while they're there, right? Because or while we're there, more like it. Because they like to do that allegedly. That I've heard other people say that they had their tires slashed. Instead of purchasing a cake for the sheriff's department, consider using the funds to buy additional Sebastian Rogers flyers for distribution at the event. Well, Texana, we have that all taken care of. We have plenty of flyers for the event. Why don't you worry about yourself and not so much about the gathering of voices? Because that's the main problem here, is that you are inserting yourself where you're not welcome. It's kind of like when somebody has a party and you were not invited, but this time it's for a missing child. So grow up and find something better to do. Again, that is going to be a common theme tonight, because I think that you need to hear that from someone in case no one has told you that. With multiple activities taking place in Central Tennessee during this week. Okay, I have no idea what activities you're talking about. Maybe you should hit one of those up and not worry about our event that we're holding. That might help. She says, please prioritize caution and safety at all times. I look at this as a threat by this crazy individual who is completely unhinged and possibly has single white female syndrome for Bullhorn Betty. Okay? Please prioritize caution. Why don't you prioritize your ass being somewhere far, far away from our event? How's that? Okay, so here she is again 2 days ago, as if she didn't have enough posts, as if she didn't have enough to say. So let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, guys. Next time I'll put it in a... I wanted you guys to be able to at least see it a little bit better. All right. Whoop. There we go. All right. Dear Mr. Seth Rogers, this is 2 days ago. Litigation wrapped up. I mean, she is a Looney Tune. Oh my goodness, Detroit. Complete loon. I mean, belongs in a nut hut kind of a thing, in my opinion. I can just see the drama that she brings everywhere she goes. Right? Dear Mr. Seth Rogers, I would like to extend sincere gratitude for your involvement in Sumner County and respectfully suggest that you may wish to utilize the upcoming event in front of Sumner County Sheriff's Department to raise awareness about other missing American persons. Texana, step the fuck off already. This is 3 posts, guys, all in one day. Post after post after post about Sebastian, about the gathering of voices, directly talking to Seth now. Texana, Canna. Oh my goodness. YouTuber. I am like completely floored. Dark triad alert. We got a dark triad here, guys. We don't allow those here. But that's exactly what it boils down to, little Miss Sharon. I agree. I mean, just someone that cannot stop themselves. I don't think she can almost help herself. Posting after post after post, and no one pays any mind. See this? No likes. Nobody shared it. Nobody hearted it. Nobody commented on any of this fucking shit because it's so deranged, and it's like entering the fucking cuckoo's nest, right? Absolutely fueled by hate, absolutely fueled by stalking, harassing, and just fueling the fire, right? But she's not getting the outcomes that she wants, so she keeps on, right? So, I mean, Tully says I might have to drive back. In my opinion, that was the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, I mean, and to expect Seth and to hound him over and over and over about other people's missing children, other missing people in America, it's none of her business. Like, she needs to back all the way off, because there's no reason for it, you know? She does seem fixated on Seth, Brenda. She seems fixated on Seth, crazy and scary. And, it is highly disturbing, in my opinion. It's concerning. I think law enforcement needs to know that she'll be in the area, right? If they don't already know that. Hopefully they do. But it's strange. It's strange. So, let's keep going. Ugh. Thank you for considering this opportunity. Okay. And by the way, I don't know that if Seth has a Facebook page, but if you do not use certain ways, and I'm not going to tell you to do how to do it crazy. Okay? This is Darvo traits. This is not your opportunity to learn how to do it correctly. But if you're trying to get someone's attention on Facebook, you have to tag them in the post. Either way, our collective effort should prioritize the well-being of all missing individuals. That's not the point of the gathering of voices. It's about Sebastian. It's going to stay about Sebastian. And you're going to need to get over it. Hello, Glenn. You're going to have to get over it. And I would just recommend you move on, and not to anybody who has a missing child. You're very creepy and off-putting. You don't know how to read the room, and it's disturbing. Okay. Now we're finally on the next day. So we have 12 hours ago. So she says, it seems that law enforcement clarification is not integrated into the talking points presented by police department's voice in the post. That makes no sense whatsoever, right? So law enforcement's clarification is not integrated. Well, I think it looks like it's integrated enough, because I'm going to read it to y'all. And it's saying that they found out who the green hoodie is, but your clarification is lacking, ma'am. And I've asked you a question, a couple of them. How do you know the Proud Feet? Right? I'm not even I'm not even asking you to explain why you're so nutty and why you won't leave Seth alone. I'm asking you to explain your whereabouts and if you're the green hoodie, because you certainly resemble that person. Law enforcement was clear that green hoodie is not a man. She is, in fact, a female, and I think she resembles you, in my opinion. If somebody thought that I resembled someone else, I would say, no, that's not me, right? I would just say it. I would say, look, that's not me. I wasn't involved, right? And see, nobody knows who this lady is. MST's like, who is this lady, right? She is a lady who has been trying to sue Seth since the vigil that they had for Sebastian's rescue ride. So when they did the Sebastian's rescue ride, she showed up and tried to film the event, and they had asked her to wait until the prayer was over with. And she didn't want to do it, MST, and so she tried to sue Seth for $25,000, right? And I'm doing the Dr. Evil um with my pinky finger, cuz I mean, that's like an extravagant amount of money to ask from Seth to begin with. His life has been turned upside down and his son is still missing, but let's try to sue him for $25,000. Like, she is absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Yeah, I know. Well, she put her teeth in today so she could show me that she does have that she does wear her teeth when she's out, because a lot of times she just doesn't wear her teeth out. I've seen a lot of times where she hasn't, and that's good. I'm glad to know that she's got teeth. I mean, if you're going to hang out with Chris, he likes corn on the cob. So she says like this. She says, your team also indicated that the mayor and authorities should be contacted for clarity, which shows a similar disparity. Okay. I have no idea who she's talking to. I'm assuming it's me because I did create this comparison in order to see what you all thought about it. I don't have a team. I'm Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives. Lady Freedom is one person. That's me. My name is Trisha. And I have a YouTube channel where I have people who do send me information, but I don't have a team per se. I run my own channel, right? This isn't all a conspiracy, weird shit that you put up on your pages and my whole gang's coming and then you end up showing up by yourself, ma'am, respectfully. But you still cause a whole load of shit just all on your own, apparently. From all accounts, you've acted a damn fool. So she says the statements made about inappropriate actions while suggesting seeking clarification from authorities provides clarity and a heads up for Sumner County authorities. Well, good. I hope they do have a heads up. I hope you let them know you're coming so they can go take a look-see at your Facebook page where you act like a damn fool. Right? Yeah, Chuchi, all of a sudden I have a conference room full of people here that are running my YouTube channel for me. I got I guess I'm the president. We got a vice president. We got a treasurer, right? We hold monthly meetings. No. I'm a creator. I create videos. I'll show you guys things that I find, online, or we review interviews, or we do slow jam in the news, right? Things like that over here. Just a YouTube channel, right? But she never once says I'm not the green hoodie. Never once. She just goes on this incoherent ramble. So she says the casual interaction was not part of the post. Really, the casual interaction, huh? Is that what you call it when you were waiting for Katie by the car, allegedly? A casual interaction, ma'am? Hmm. Yes, the Proudfoot's henchman, Sam. Sure is. You know? It sure is. Come on. Oh. And this is when you deal with crazy people, you kind of feel a little nutty yourself. Um, so she says the casual interaction was not part of the post, right? Regarding regulations. Sorry, excuse me. She says proactively seeking clarity from authorities regarding regulations was prioritized. The clarity obtained was indeed straightforward. Well, let's take a look at it. And by the way, she never said no. All right. So this is when Sumner County Sheriff's Office released to their Facebook page. Uh, I mean, it was months ago. I believe I do have the one that has the date on it. I just had to pull this. Um, you know, I had to pull this in from a different place because I had to get it quick, fast, and in a hurry to make this. So we want to address the recent speculation surrounding the individual seen wearing a green hoodie near Texas Roadhouse in relation to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Now, guys, did that sound more coherent? Because, yeah, that's, I think it's Sheriff Craddock writing this, right? And he's good at English and he can actually speak it, right? And convey it in a proper and professional way. I wish he would do it more often, but that was, very straightforward. Nothing, I mean, to read between the lines, he's saying that they're addressing the recent speculation on the green hoodie at the Texas Roadhouse in connection to Sebastian's disappearance, right? It's not all this incoherent rambling. Wow. How refreshing. We understand the community's concern and the desire for answers in this case. I hope so. Today, detectives interviewed the person in question regarding their presence on the night of February 25th, 2024. We can confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual, there is no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance. Okay? So right here, they say that they made contact, right, with the green hoodie and interviewed them. Detectives did. And they can confirm after having a thorough discussion with this person that there wasn't any evidence that linked them to Sebastian's disappearance. Now, that's vastly different than saying the green hoodie person didn't know Katie, the green hoodie person wasn't there to meet Katie. No, they're just saying there's no involvement with Sebastian's disappearance. Well, maybe they're wrong about that. Maybe they did meet with this green hoodie character, right? Maybe they did meet with her. And maybe it was Texana, in my opinion, right? Yeah, Texana always has her bandana, but that's because she's got like mad forehead crinkles, right? Wrinkles. And she tries to hide it with the bandana, so that way she doesn't look as old and raggedy. In my opinion, old, moldy, raggedy. Okay. In my opinion, allegedly. So we we appreciate the vigilance and cooperation from the public and all those involved in the search for Sebastian. We encourage everyone to continue providing any pertinent information that could assist in this ongoing investigation. However, we also urge the community to approach social media rumors with caution, as misinformation can distract from the real efforts to find Sebastian. Well, Craddock, I do have to say this, or maybe let me just address the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. You should have had a conversation and made contact with and confirmed that this person had nothing to do with Sebastian's disappearance far before the public ever started speculating on it. You have Green Hoodie who waits outside the Texas Roadhouse near Katie's vehicle and waits for her to come out. And instead of Katie seeing this person, by her vehicle and not making contact with the person, she makes contact with the person. If she didn't make contact with the person and she was like, "Oh, go ahead, ma'am, you can come right through," and didn't walk right up to her, well, then I would think differently. And then you got the green hoodie who walks away like, you know, something should have happened that didn't. She's doing, oh, yeah, pushing her hand back at Katie. There was some sort of a commotion. You didn't see that on the cameras? Because we all sure as hell did. You didn't see that? The young man with the blue gloves on who was serving food, the yellow jacket, they turn around because something was going on at Katie's vehicle. They didn't just turn around for no reason, and the way they turned to look was a reactive, a reaction, more reflexive kind of a look, like something happened and both of them shot a look over and turned. They turned to look at what was going on. So why was that not something that needed to be checked out in the beginning? Did you even have Texas footage from Texas Roadhouse? Did you even see the interaction between Katie and Sebastian until YouTubers started talking about it? Until At Night released it. So what's going on? So the search for Sebastian Rogers remains our top priority, and we will continue to pursue all leads with the utmost diligence. We ask the continued support and patience from the community as we will be working together to bring Sebastian home. To provide tips, please contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for your understanding and support. Either way, I think that these two paragraphs are super important, right? That they made contact with this person and they confirmed that there is no evidence linking. So the key word is they couldn't find any evidence that would link them, right? So let's try and find out if we can find evidence to link them. Because if this person who is continuously harassing and trying to sue Seth and will not stop posting day after day after day about him trying to get his attention, all of that, that's a pretty big problem, especially if that was a person that was at the Texas Roadhouse that night that Sebastian went missing, in my opinion. And again, a simple no, that's not me would suffice. All right. So this was 11 hours ago. Retrieve past data statements with full accountability and responsibility for all actions, behaviors, threats, slander, mail tampering, lies, video clips, cyberbullying, cyber harassment, verbal assault, ADA violations, and elder abuse. Blah, blah. Okay, and then what she does is she takes Seth's post and she puts it underneath of all that blah, blah, blah crap. It says here, guys, this is going to be the most batshit crazy shit. Buckle up. Bring Sebastian home, says Seth. Your dedication, love, and relentless pursuit of the truth means more than words can express. Hashtag Sebastian's Army. Let me be clear. I led this mission. My team reports to me and does not act without communication with me. My team has been my support for a while now, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. I am here, standing firm, making the decisions that I believe are right for my son. My focus remains where it has and always has been, on finding Sebastian and seeking justice. Hashtag find Sebastian. Hashtag keep the faith. Do not be swayed by distractions. Stay strong, stay united, and stay focused. We are making an impact together, right? We are making an impact, and together we will not stop until Sebastian is home. Hashtag Sebastian Strong. with gratitude and determination. What the fuck does that have to do with this crazy ass bitch and her rambling? I ask you to please let me know what you think in the comments. Right? And this might be a night where I'll have to take a gander back at what you all are saying, because I have a lot to show you. But this is absolutely insane. This right here is absolutely insane. And again, this is the actual post and what Seth wrote, right? And I didn't even know he posted it. You know? She's got forehead crinkles. Forget me not. You know? I hate when those things pop up and you have to buy a bandana. My lord. Hey Sparky, good to see you. Sparky. This lady is baddie, you know? So this is what Seth wrote, and it's just so heartfelt and nice. And I'm gonna have to go find the post so I could like it, because that it is so kind of him to always make us remember that he has gratitude. Um, but really, it's just what normal, good-hearted people would do, because we don't ever want to see other people suffering. We're not like Texana, who loves to see other people's suffering. To Sebastian's army, I will take a moment to personally thank each and every one of you for standing with me in the fight to bring Sebastian home. Your dedication, love, and relentless pursuit of the truth mean more than words can express. Hashtag Sebastian's army. Let me be clear, I led this mission. My team supports, or excuse me, well, we do support you. My team reports to me and does not act without communication with me. My team has been my support for a while now, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. I am here standing firm, making the decisions that I believe are right for my son. My focus remains where it has always been, on finding Sebastian and seeking justice. Hashtag find Sebastian, hashtag keep the faith. And this is perfectly said, in my opinion, by Seth, because that is exactly what I would be doing as a parent. And I think any of us would be, in just trying to find his son, not dealing with the nonsense. Right. And then he tells us, don't be swayed by distractions, stay strong, stay united, and stay focused. So I think that is the main message, is to stay strong, stay united, and stay focused. We are making an impact, and together we will not stop until Sebastian is home. Hashtag Sebastian strong, with gratitude and determination. And he makes his promise to us there. Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. He says that he's going to work just as hard as we are to find his son, because he's so grateful that we are working hard to find his son. You know? And that's the crazy part about all this, is that he's just doing the right thing and what any other parent would do. And then she writes her cockamamie bullshit above it, like nobody cares what she has to say. I bet you Seth got about 1 billion likes on this post. He's about to get 1,000,000,001, because that's very kind of him. And this is what she says: retrieve past data statements with full accounts. Da, da, da. Crazy ass bitch. How does Tex know the feet? I want to know how you know these people and what you're doing for them, with them, against Seth. Whose child is missing? What is wrong with you, Bandana? How long have you known them? How much are they paying you, allegedly, to do this dirt? Bunch of ass clowns. Yeah, and that's our Sebastian's army lady, just side-eyeing the shit out of you, Texana, because you ain't right. Get our scope out. I'm gonna be bringing like some binoculars or something, checking out the rooftops. My lord, I mean that's how batshit crazy this lady is. That's why I'm not kidding you when I tell you anything I've gathered is gonna go over to law enforcement so they can see she's droning by your place and saying she's gonna come over there. Just so you're aware. I know you probably don't care, but there you go. So, ooh, pizza time. What? Star, I want a piece of pizza. Maybe SF can find Green Hoodie something to do. There we go, Tully. There we go. That's what we do need. We need somebody to get busy, right? Yeah, maybe she can fly drones with SF, you know? And they can become best buds, and then at least they'd have something better to do than bug us with what we're doing. Like, why would you go somewhere where you're not welcome? Oh my gosh, people couldn't pay me to go someplace I wasn't invited to, and then to act out when I'm there, you know? The Karen shadow. On Celery tag, she should be Crazy Sister's roommate. Oh no, a bunch of drones. Sam, it's gonna be like the attack of the drones or something. Like, I feel like I need to go get a drone. I feel like I need a drone. Like a really good one too, so they'd be really jealous of my drone. I'd be like, check me and my drone out. Aw, thank you, NorCal SoCal, so much for your super chat. She says, "Look forward to seeing you there in Tennessee at Sumner County Sheriff's Office for the voices for Sebastian." Oh my gosh, you did so good when you were there. Thank you, or the last time. Thank you so much, NorCal SoCal. I will be so happy to see everybody. We all speak out for Sebastian since his own mama doesn't, in my opinion. And to anyone with ears, eyes, a half a brain, I know, and that's it too. Um, and it just makes so much sense when you hear people out there saying, you know, it's just far too long. Nobody thought it was going to be this long. I think people have said that, in many other places as well when referring to Sebastian. In his case, and just wow, I can't believe it's been this long, and it's just very unfortunate. Aw, thank you, Jen in Georgia. You're so sweet. She says, "Love Lady Freedom and incredibly informative and funny." Thank you. I try to bring light to stuff. Jen had me. I'm gonna tell you, I was cracking up. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drop the link," and I was just laughing so hard because she was just making me laugh. Um, with her honesty. So thank you so much, Jen in Georgia. And little Miss Sharon, thank you so much for your $5 super sticker. um you guys are so great, and I just always appreciate your support. I have a video that I made for you guys earlier today, and I'm gonna play it at the end here, like when we're about to sign off. But yeah, I just always want to say thank you to you guys because whether you're a mod, whether you guys watch, or whether you click the thumbs up button or make a comment, just every single little thing that you guys do to support the channel, I'm incredibly grateful. I see it, and I should do more appreciation for that because I really do appreciate it, and especially like being a member for 4 months, Jen, I really appreciate that. So you guys are just awesome. And I love what you all bring to the conversation. You're always so smart and just honest, and I appreciate that. It's all about money with selfish and greedy Katie and Chris, and scared and jealous Seth might get $1 more. Then as Katie gave away, that is broadcasting to everyone. Seth has 2 life insurances. I mean, it's crazy. But how do you get a life insurance that was meant to be for? Because like that Gerber life plan. One thing that people don't know about that is you could actually the kids can cash that in at a certain age. I don't remember what age it is, but they can cash it in order to use it for like college expenses and stuff. That's one thing that they pitch to parents. And of course you have this new brand new beautiful little baby and you're like, I want everything for them, and you're like, yes, of course I'll do it, you know. But they pitch that to you at the hospital, and it's a good thing. But you can't cash those out if somebody's missing. So I really don't understand why that's such an issue. Um, a pocket full of rocks. Oh my goodness. Drone wars. Oh my gosh. Oh no. You know, Kylie, I just wonder the chaos that the drones can bring, because like they do, some of them fly really low, and I mean, what if you get like bopped by one of those? Now I'm afraid of the drones. Um yeah, drones to watch their drones, right? And that's where the wars come in, right? Because you need drones to watch their drones, and then but I think you have to register for drones. See, that's one thing I don't know much about. Oh, I don't know anything about that, Sammy. That's fine. Let them do it. Let them do it. That's the thing that I don't understand about these situations that we find ourselves in Sebastian's case. If they're gonna do something, they need to do it on their own stuff and leave everything else alone, you know? Um they shouldn't be able to encroach on anything that we're doing, as well as we shouldn't encroach on anything they're doing. I could give two shits what they're going to be doing, you know, but for some reason they're so involved in what we're doing over here. And that's the thing that I find concerning, mainly for Seth, because, you know, I'm just learning about this crazy person. She's a nutbag, you know, and for her to go after him day in and day out like that is nuts. Post after post after you know. You know, he might be there with his drones. I don't know if they all get along or what. They seem to definitely hate bond. So whoever, you know, and that's just such an odd thing to have in common with somebody, you know? So it just really is. It's very odd. Texana and her drone army, KJ. Oh my gosh. Another episode of Vampire Strikes Back. Oh no, Empire Strikes Back, right? She's so tiring. I'll tell you what, I've just learned of this person and I'm exhausted. I'm ready for some trivia. How about you guys? Because it's a lot. It's and the incoherent ramblings. Like I'm like, oh, is this supposed to be? Am I supposed to be alarmed by this? Somehow I am, just because the wording is just so out of sorts. Hello, Gigi. Good to see you. You know, it's just out of sorts. And I think they prey upon people who are mentally unstable, right? Because only someone who is mentally unstable would be okay with a child being abused by their step parent or talked about by their mother in the way that Katie does. You know, it's just so wrong. Well, they're upset about that, and that was 25,000 was the amount, I suppose, that Seth made on the GoFundMe's. But the thing about the GoFundMe is that it's money that you're basically using for flyers, for bracelets, awareness, right? And a lot of that costs money as well. So you're putting it back toward finding Sebastian. And then you have a vehicle. Seth doesn't just live in the same area, you know, and the driving back and forth, the gas. I mean, it's not like, I mean, there's a reason why people set those pretty high, is because it takes a lot of money. When you're an hour away from home, you can't just pop back in and at home and fix yourself, you know, a peanut butter and jelly. It's like, sure, you can take the time to pack a lunch, but I mean, who has time to do that when your kid's missing? You go and go and go until you feel like you're going to drop, and people have asked you, did you eat today? I mean, that's how bad it is. I remember Pascal in the beginning just being like, hey, make sure you drink enough water, bud. Make sure you're staying hydrated. It's absolutely sick to put more stress on this man. How dare they? Really? And how dare she continue on with this? You lost in court, Texana. Move on. Do something different. Do some good in the world. All you're doing is being obnoxious, and you're making a fool out of yourself. I have this feeling he's the one with the drones in that crazy crowd. I think they all have drones. I think they all have drones. But like Steve Fisher maybe has the best drone because whenever he comes to town, they take pictures with it. So I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't even know that she's grifting Karama Patrol. I think that it's possible, and good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I just think it's possible that she is trying to, avenge for the Proudfoots, is what it seems to me. Because why would she care how much Seth made on a GoFundMe? Um, so that's just how it goes with that. No, Gigi, Seth is not jealous at all of anyone. Seth doesn't give a shit about nobody. Shuchi. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, something happened. Krama go suck a pencil. Yeah, we don't deal with those people. Oh wait, hold on, Krama. Here, Krama Patrol, you have summoned Dr. Phil.
These are the people that actually are so sick, they feel good about themselves for inflicting pain. And it's something called the dark triad. They have narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And there's something called Schadenfreude, and it's when joy is derived by someone from another person's misfortune.
Yes.
So it's this dark triad. These are people you don't want to meet in real life.
No.
They're ugly people, and they will go virtual to real world sometimes, so you've got to be careful.
Yeah. You're not.
And there's been a lot of actual psychological research into these people. These trolls post inflammatory, off-topic, insincere messages to hurt, provoke others, and they typically hide behind fake names or phony accounts.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that their makeup is antisocial and sadistic.
I love that part with the Wayans dad. He's so funny. He's got the troll spray out, spraying it down. No, yeah, go back to the dark triad. Go back to the dark triad. We can't with that, right? Catch me outside. How about that? That catch me outside girl, man. She went after Dr. Phil. I think he put her in that at home, and it was a bad deal. That people do get. That's a good point there, Sam. People do think they got to put their kids away and stuff. Dr. Phil be scooping them kids up out of bed at night. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Dr. Phil. I appreciate your take on things. You're bald. I loved when she said that to his face. She goes, "You're bald." He's like, "I heard you say that before." I'm Tim McGraw. Goodness sakes. Oh my gosh. And I seen that trifling comment, Joe. You had me laughing back here. That's funny. Rap career, the meet me outside girl. That's all I can think about is, or catch me outside. Sorry, catch me outside. Right? She's so little though. I bet you nobody could catch her. She's just little. She'll just take off running down the alleyway. You won't catch her. See, that's why she says, "Catch me outside." you know. And thank you, Little Miss Sharon, for gifting a Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives membership. If you got a membership from Little Miss Sharon, please say thank you. And thank you, Little Miss Sharon. And welcome to the Dragon Tribe. I don't know who it landed on. Cockamamie, I love that word too. Norcal SoCal. It reminds me of like Annie from the that movie Misery. That's too funny. Mr. Man. You're bald. So now from Balin saying that, we tell people go suck a pencil. Cash me outside. How about that? Oh my gosh, Magic Star. I love that you can put an accent in the chat. That's hilarious. She says, cash me outside. How about that? That little girl was bad. I'm telling no, I'm mean. Oh my god. You guys are trying to kill me up here. That's too funny. OMG, I just noticed I have a wrench. Norkel, you just noticed? I thought you was gonna notice that the other day. I was like, I gotta sneak in and give Norkel a wrench. There's one more person I gotta catch up there from our lunch group because I gotta catch you guys outside so I can give you a wrench. She is a rapper now. She is she's a rapper. And she's mad as hell at Dr. Phil, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. She did make a lot of money off of that. Yes, yes. Apparently that one ranch though, what is it? Turnabout Ranch, I think. I've heard like from other people like really that it was a bad place. A lot of those places are bad. Um I don't know of many that are successful that people are like, "Oh, I sent my child away and it was a good idea," you know, or like we're glad we did. Maybe like boot camp and stuff change, you know, but I mean that's a whole different thing in my opinion. So I'm not surprised, little Miss Sharon. Dr. Phil made her rich and she's mad as hell. We only know her because of Dr. Phil. That's true, KJ. Absolutely right. Cash me eating. Use some snacks. Google it. Oh my goodness. That is too funny, Star. Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy. He was exposed for losing his psychology license. He's so fake. Yeah. My daughter, when she was going through psychology, she's like, Mom, Dr. Phil is not a real doctor. I'm like, I know. I know. I just like watching him. He makes me laugh though because he's like so damn serious, you know? And he's just oh my gosh, but he is not a doctor. Yeah, he can't practice. He just I don't know where he can actually practice, Kylie. Um so I know. Yeah. All the places, there's all kinds of fuckery going on all the time, Sam. And you know, that's what's scary. Um is a lot of times they just want to make money. Um and the conditions are really, really bad, you know? I always tease the kids in our family that they will have to go to oh no, Aunt Brenda's boot camp if they misbehave. I like the granny on Talladega Nights and she says, I'm laying down some granny law. And I'm like, that's good. I was like, you do that because those little kids are running around anarchy, anarchy. We need some granny law here. We need somebody to lay down the granny law. It's like you got to behave yourself, you know. What? Joe? Dr. Phil was front row at Melania Premier Jelly. Oh my gosh. You guys. Oh boy. That's too funny. Yes, Tina, it's so hilarious, right? Aw, thank you, Gigi. Oh my gosh. That is too funny. She's like, I'm laying down the granny law. And they're like, what's that? They'd never been, you know, they were never disciplined ever. Like they just run around crazy calling people a dusty old fart. I'm like, oh my God. Little boys are so rambunctious like that, though. And it's kind of what I expected to see out of Sebastian at the Texas Roadhouse, but he was so well behaved. Phil Diddy. Dr. Jen herself taught. I know I say that too, Jen. I'll be like, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on YouTube. Because I'll be like, that person's in the dark triad, even though I have no qualifications to make that assessment or diagnosis. I'll be like, the characteristics fit. Hello, shadows in the dark. Good to see ya. Sweet baby. Sweet baby Jesus. What really makes me laugh is when Chip gets so bent out of shape. He's like, he was a man. He had a beard, and he gets so mad about it. That's too funny. Sweet baby Jesus, dear sweet baby Jesus, all jacked up on Mountain Dew. He's all, I'm gonna sissy kick you in the back of the head. Like, what little kid's allowed to talk like that? Oh my gosh, I would be mortified. So, oh, Dr. Phil believes Don and Candace Wells are forget me not. Thank you for this is a great reminder because I was very disappointed with his assessment there. But you're right. Dr. Phil believes Don and Candace Wells aren't culpable in Summer Moon Utah Wells' disappearance. I couldn't believe that. And then what was the stuff that like they ask about the cornbread mafia and they're like she just starts crying and she takes off her mic and storms off. It was like I was like, Dr. Phil, are you turning into Steve Wilkos? What's happening right now? Mhm. So, my goodness. Someone please explain how the statue of Melania got her movie. What the she must have threatened to leave his old ass, in my opinion, so he bought her a movie. He bought her a movie. Oh, Lord, Kylie, that's too funny. Oh my gosh. She's like, I'm gonna leave. He buys her a movie. That's just not normal either. Oh my gosh. I heard about the movie, but I have not seen it. I've not watched it. Or, I probably won't. I mean, to be honest, no disrespect to the first lady or anything, but hello, Debbie says what? Good to see you. But she's very pretty. Melania is very pretty. Like, I don't know why she doesn't do something more productive with here I sound like Katie. She needs to be more productive. So let me pray how I want, Tina. That's what Katie says to me because I told her the baby Jesus thing was messed up. She's like, "Let me pray how I want." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Meow, good to see you. Thank you for being here. In my opinion, maybe Bandana is a warden at the ranch. Cash me outside the door. Oh, that was so cute. She says, "Cash me outside the door." Oh my goodness. I don't know the fact that she does know people in education, in who are teachers and stuff. I mean, I think some of these places employ teachers. Um, like the one that I watched on Netflix called The Program, like I don't even think those people were actually teachers. Um, I identify with Dr. Bill's or Dr. Bill. Dr. Phil's bank account, right? Oh yeah. And then Robin has like her own line of skincare products. Like I've never seen them around or anything, but I'm sure they're all in Hollywood. So she probably does pretty well on those. Please. Ba- Bandana looks like she can wrangle herself a sheriff without Craddock. Oh no. I wonder what he's kind of thinking with I wonder if he's gotten calls from her, you know? Cornbread Mafia was the straw for her, huh? She couldn't take it. She like took her mic off and she's like crying and I'm like, I've never seen you cry over summer ever. Like even I mean, let's just throw back again to Summer Wells. I mean, this poor little girl. But look at this is Candace when she was talking to Chris McDonough. All of those facial expressions. Our Candace, when she was talking with Chris and he was at her house, and she made sure to, push the barrel over. I'm sure he still noticed. He's very observant. You know, she's looking at him, huh? She was just gone, she tells him. Lord have mercy. And I know it's good to keep all these kids out in the spotlight. I mean, Summer, I still see people talking about Summer all the time, and I think that's so good. Because if it was up to Don and Candace, the sad part is, again, I hate to say it, but her name would not be out there, in my opinion. Um, it's just incredibly sad. You can see the difference when you have a father who is relentless in the pursuit of justice, in the pursuit of finding his son. It's a complete night and day experience, right? Because they have never rallied together to find Summer. They've had people rally against them because people think they're involved, but they've never tried to hold a gathering of voices. Would we even have a gathering of voices if it wasn't for Seth and his pursuit of justice and finding his son? Because I really don't think that we would. I just don't. You have to advocate for your own kids. Because if you're not going to, nobody else is, unfortunately. So I think we have figured out here that people with a lot of money are weird. They are, Brenda. I'll tell you what. A little bit too much. And it's very weird. Hello, wanna be sleuthing something? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I wouldn't I wouldn't, but yes, she's pretty, deserves a movie, questionable. Right, exactly. I'm like, I'm surprised people don't ask her to be in the movies. So then again, usually the first lady's usually doing something like going and reading to the kids and doing stuff like that. Phil Freemason. I'm not a doctor, but I do have a BA in BS. Nice, YouTuber. That's great. I'm gonna have to use that sometime. I'm not a doctor, but I do have a BA in BS, so don't test me. There's an actual film called Melania. If so, the impact I missed any news about it means my mainstream news fastly is highly effective or fasting. I know. I mean, I've done that too lately, KJ Mac, because there's just so much hurt and stuff in the world. There really is. Oh, that's awesome, Chuchi. Yay. Congratulations. We did it, Dragon Tribe. Oh, thank you guys. That is so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's oh, sorry, I read that one. Autumn. No lotion fix for frozen face or bottom lip. Oh no. I don't know what's with all of this plastic surgery people get. I just don't oh no. We have a man baby a man having a baby in the chat. She got no mirrors in her home, in my opinion. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mm. I mean, I know that there's a high level in corruption in Summers area. And I do think like some sort of gathering would have been proper for Summer as well. I will say that. I just think it's horrible that they're expecting Seth to divert any attention away from Sebastian on the 2 year. I hate to even call it an anniversary, but 2 years that Summer's been or excuse me, 2 years that Sebastian has been missing, right? And obviously it does. It takes the focus off. So, oh, did you get gifted a membership? Yay! Oh, thank you, little Miss Sharon, for gifting that membership to Autumn. And Autumn, welcome to the Dragon Tribe. That's so cool. I wish it would like flash across my screen and show me like who got it. That'd be really cool. Yeah, thank you, Shadows in the Dark. Summer and Sebastian are two main kids I want to see justice for. Yeah, and Summer, I mean, again, just too long. And I just think that it's just so hard to believe that kids vanish without a trace like that. Um, I don't know, and especially where her home is situated, it's hard to believe somebody could have, grabbed her up like that. Usually in a busier place, it's easier to do that, or a less secluded. They live on a hill. That's right, KJ. We always got to tell Joe, be nice to your mom over there. So, yeah, they are, and I'm glad they're searching again. Sammy says, especially now with the new search for Summer, people are really talking her up. Yeah, I love that. I mean, she deserves it. She deserves that, just like any of the other kids do, and people out there. It's difficult because you want to go into the cases and focus on, I mean, I just think that if you spread your focus out, it's going to take longer to find, to see results. Um, then again, there's far too many people that go missing, so, you know, with Benny. Oh, I saw yeah, something with Benny Keys. Yeah, Forget Me Not reported missing, but I think Dolly might have found it. Huh. Sorry guys, let's see here. Okay, I wanted to play the other video for you, but I want to get caught up in chat. I think I'm a little bit almost caught up. Let's see. Aw, thank you, Jen and GA, for gifting a Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives membership. If you got a membership from Jen and GA, please say thank you and welcome to the Dragon Tribe. How cool. Thank you so much. Aw. Well, hey, Kiki, good to see you. Hey, working on a video, but I'm rewinding and trying to catch up. Oh, thank you, Kiki, for being here. I know. I'm glad you decided to come over and take a break over here. Oh, yay. Debbie says, what got the membership? Well, welcome to the Dragon Tribe. Debbie says, what? Yay. I can't believe this lady, Kiki. I just kind of found this craziness. So if you're on the rewind, I don't know what you're going to come back and say because it's crazy, crazy. Yeah, exactly, Tully. That's one main thing. With clearing Seth, that maybe the Cold Case Foundation could get involved. And I think that Chris McDonough absolutely would. I really do. I think he's a good guy. I think he's definitely ready to dive right in. I do. I do. And thank you, Little Miss Sharon. Yeah, I really do. So I want to show you guys this video that I made because I think we've really said everything we can about this lady for now. I mean, I'm gonna try to just kind of keep moving forward because I think, again, just the the bad apples spoiling everything for everybody else. I don't want to be a part of that. I'd rather eat pizza from Pizza Hut. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. Oh, alrighty. So I made this little video for you guys, and I'm just gonna play it all the way through, and then I'll kind of stop and we'll talk about it because there's a few things I just want to go over so everybody knows about the trivia tomorrow. Sorry. Make sure you guys can all see this and make sure I'm good over here. Okay, good. Okay, guys. Oh, I do have my mic off. Okay. So, or on, rather. So I just want to start by reading the flyer again, just to kind of go over it in case, it's the first time you guys have seen the flyer or something like that. But I also want to say a big thank you to all of you who have helped make it possible for me to take a stand for Sebastian and stand with Seth, right? It's just so important. And it just means the world to me. Just like I said, everybody that watches, subscribes, all of that good stuff, it just all um is support, and I appreciate it. And so the gathering of voices for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who has been missing for 2 years. The main event is February 26th, 2026 in Sumner County Sheriff's Office, or at Sumner County Sheriff's Office, sorry. Um, on February 26, 2024, Sebastian was reported missing, and 2 years later, our voices joined together in remembrance, in love, and in hope. So, love and in hope. It doesn't say causing trouble, acting crazy, destroying cop cars or otherwise. So, for anybody who is confused, it's very straightforward. Hello, Maui. It's very straightforward. Oh, great, Debbie says, what, thank you so much. Yeah, and what we're gonna do, I want to be able to like give something back to you guys and bring something cool back for my trip. So for trivia tomorrow, we'll do a prize, and then it won't be until after my trip that I can send it off, of course. But then also when I come back, we'll do a pick a number, so everybody can participate even if they don't have a membership. But again, we want to continue to shine light on his story. We invite the community together in solidarity to honor Sebastian and continue to shine light on his story. Please wear or bring something green, Sebastian's favorite color, as a tribute, and we will be gathering February 23rd through February 27th, 2026. Right? So lots of opportunities to join in and show support. And I think it's going to be very positive, and I have very good positive vibes going towards this event. So if you want updates and support, go to facebook.com/groups/justice for Sebastian, and you can find that on Facebook. Together, our voices are stronger. Together, we remember, and that's what it's about. Is about coming together to honor Sebastian, who's been missing for 2 years. It's absolutely sad that he's been missing for 2 years. He shouldn't be missing this long, and I really can't believe that he has been missing this long. So, and this is my Will Ferrell members only. But yeah, so tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do horror movies are the topics, The Office, music, and then Stranger Things. So I love Stranger Things. Sebastian was a huge fan, or is a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons. He did like to play that game with his dad. And so I would definitely like to do part of the trivia, for something that he liked. Not that he particularly liked the show Stranger Things, but he liked D&D. So I thought that would be kind of cool. I didn't want to do any type of true crime trivia, so I chose horror movies instead, but it's not going to be anything gory. And then again, we did some music topics and some fun stuff there. So I think you guys will enjoy it. And that's going to be again tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday. And then, of course, whoever gets the highest score. So I can't remember how many questions that I put in for each category. I don't think I put an even amount. I just kind of picked some fun topics. I think the most questions will be about music because I think people like that subject. And then there'll be, a few from The Office and Stranger Things, also the horror movies. So um yeah, Debbie, I have not seen the newest season either. And I did not put any questions from the newest season. So I'm glad you're a fan. Um, but yeah, I didn't put any newer ones, just the older ones. And oh, thank you so much, little Miss Sharon, for gifting 5 Lady Freedoms Raw Narratives membership. Oh, that is so sweet of you. If you got a membership from little Miss Sharon, please say thank you and welcome to the Dragon Tribe. That is so cool. And then also, I'll be posting things, Discord and also on community posts. But I wanted to let you guys know, where we were gonna um put everything, And thank you for making a difference every day. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You're amazing. Remember that. I just found a whole bunch of these little cute, little guys here. I love the penguins. He's so cute. And the llama. We like our llamas. And I always appreciate you guys watching. That makes such a huge difference too. Just watching. You guys rock. You guys rock. Put Dolly in there. Dolly Parton, that is. And I don't know, that guy's always in my memes. I like that guy. Whether you mod for me, watch, give a thumbs up, send super chats or super stickers, gift memberships, or you're just loyal members, you are supporting me, and I love you for that. I really do, guys. I appreciate everyone. And then here's going to be some information that I wanted to, sorry, forgot this part. I could not do it without your love, support, care for the victims in these cases, right? I'm so glad that we have a group of people who really care. It makes a huge difference, right? It really does. Oh, thank you, Sammy, for dropping that link. I appreciate that. Hello, Tampus. Good to see you. And hello, Witchy Mama. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Good to see all you guys. Welcome in, guys. Thank you again, little Miss Sharon. That was so sweet. Hey, couponing. I'm sorry I didn't see you earlier. Hello. I know. You guys are all so great. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I will Shadows in the Dark. I will. I'm gonna hop off a little bit earlier than usual, just so I could finish up the trivia, and I will check my emails because I know I'm behind on those. Um, but the care that you guys show in the chat and things like that, we couldn't talk about the subjects that you guys didn't want to hear about, right? Because we wouldn't have as many people. So I'm just always amazed and overwhelmed by the support and love that you guys have for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I know that everybody's hearts are focused on finding him. So when I return from Tennessee, we'll do a separate drawing for a giveaway, and then all of your help is appreciated. Do not feel obligated because, like I said, I'm still going to do a drawing when I get back. But it will all go for gas, food, supplies for the Gathering of Voices. And by that, I just mean that I'm going to be doing the poster board, right? And I want to do a couple of different poster boards and things like that. But I want to get some messages for you guys, or excuse me, from you guys for Sebastian. So whatever you would like to write to him, and then just let me know how you want me to put the name, because I'll just put like a dash and then, or maybe a little heart, love, Sammy, or love Kylie, or, Shadow, however you guys want me to put it on there. Just let me know. And then that way we're doing something positive, because I think that it's very easy to get into a negative mindset when Sebastian's been missing for 2 years. But I also think, I believe in being realistic, but I also believe in being positive because I know some people are like Pollyannas and they're like, be positive. And you're like, how can I be positive? And people are like, you're batshit crazy, right? You're telling me to be positive. How can I be positive? And it sounds insane. But we do have to do positive things like that. And, just let Sebastian know because we don't know if he's out there watching. We don't know, we just don't. So, and again, representing Sebastian while letting him know how we feel. And then this is, the little duck. We'll do, like I said, we'll do like a drawing and pick a number thing when I get back. It'll be fun. So this is where you can email me, ladyfreedomsrawnarratives@gmail.com, if you want a special message written to you, or written to you. I keep saying you, my goodness, my brain. If you want a special message written on the posters for Sebastian from you. So put in the subject line, message for Sebastian, right? And keep an eye on the community wall because I'm going to post all the ones that I get. I'm probably going to wait till next week to do that. And then anybody who wants to add them in those posts, we can do that. But just so they're all in one location for us. And then that way, I can make sure I get all of them because I don't want anybody, feeling left out or feeling like they didn't get to say something. So keep an eye out on the community wall on the channel to see the updates about the event, right? Because I'll be posting over there too. I might try to go live. I don't really like the idea of going live, but now that I know my route, I might be able to do like a driving live or something where I'm just talking and you guys will have to just see my avatar or whatever. I mean, but kind of how we do it here. But last time I didn't because I didn't know where I was going and I wanted to make sure I was, paying attention. So, but I'll let you guys know like when we're gonna go live. I'd like to go live with Jen quite a bit. When we're there, just so we can both, go live. So, and then again, too with the Discord because unfortunately, with these issues that have come up, but then also that we've known about. Hello, Faye. Good morning. I just think it's safer to do everything in the Discord where it's not going to be on YouTube, right? Because it's, I don't know. It's just something that is probably more safe to do it that way. But for this event, everybody knows that we're going to be at the Sumner County Sheriff's office. So, I mean, that part we know, right? And then we have our beautiful soldier here side-eyeing. I love it. But yeah, and then I just put this. I love this picture of Sebastian. He's absolutely adorable in this picture. And, it just says, my name is Sebastian Rogers. Have you seen me? So we just have to get the word out, the awareness out, because Chris and Katie are too busy playing with their cars, right? And again, if you guys can make it, there's going to be people out there showing love and support to Sebastian. And I think that's the most beautiful thing we can do. Oh, and then Shadow, I will also, let me just write that down really quick. Let me add that Discord link to closer on the community wall. I will add that Discord link so that way we have it, and then you guys can go over and join up and stuff like that too, so you can get updates. Yeah, we have a huge table in the conference room, by the way. Right, Tucci? She's a judge. Look. Little Miss Sharon. Aw. I will just love to see what all of you what you guys all come up with, Yeah, absolutely. Kylie says, done. I will get it emailed to you. Thank you for doing this, lady. It means a lot as I would love to be with the Dragon Tribe, but I am standing with you from Australia. Oh, that's so sweet, Kylie. Thank you. Thank you. Sebastian Strong. That's right. I mean, that's what always amazes me is like all of our friends in Australia, like little Miss Sharon also, and just everybody, right? I mean, everyone around the United States. And thank you, YouTubers here. You guys just always amaze me with the green hearts. Thank you, couponing and Chuchi and Bling and Beezy and Shadow. You guys are just amazing with those green hearts, and we need them. Those are what lets everybody know, let Sebastian know if he's ever watching, that we care about him and that we want him found. And I know Seth appreciates the hearts. Thank you, Anne Brock. Gosh, Sebastian's smile is so sweet, isn't it? He just looks like just the cutest little kid ever, right? And then it's like, I know he was 15, but I also look at him as a young guy. Now he's 17, and again, I just can't believe he's still out there somewhere. But I want to keep going over, um, the older statements, some of the statements that maybe we haven't heard in a while. It's been a while since I was actually through a lot of this stuff. I mean, yeah, we went over the Duchess interview and stuff like that, but it's just been a little while since we've gone over the interviews. Thank you, Shadows in the Dark. So, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Forget me not. Thank you. Thank you for speaking on the missing with care and integrity. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Forget me not. That's so sweet. See, like, in even you guys comments like that, gosh, it just means the world to me. Thank you. Um, he has, Brenda. He has, he really, really has. Everybody wants to hear about Sebastian. Everybody wants to comb over the details. And that's one thing that I'm always so grateful for, is your guys's, tenacity there. Because it's just, there's just something that we're missing. The fact that Eric Craddock says there's not evidence to support, when he comes out and makes a statement, that's strong in my opinion, um, in terms of him being very careful. It's kind of like when we were watching the RCMP. um, I guess he was like, I don't know if he's a director or how you would call him there, but in Jack and Lily's case, and he's like, well, we can't say that, who we suspect or if they're suspects. But I mean, they're obviously watching Mr. Daniel. Um, and then, the Discord's really awesome and safe. Everybody's checking too. Chuchi's checking to see who is who. Like if people's names are different and that sort of thing. So, oh, Maui, I know. Oh, Sebastian Strong. Can't wait to meet Sebastian. I know. I know. I think that we're going to find him. I think that it's just something that, again, we've all overlooked. I think it's only a matter of time, until something happens. Oh, yeah. I hope you're better by then, Jen. I know. I know. Ugh, it's just so hard, right? It's like, and I understand because people work during the week and stuff like that. And if you're from out of town, the traveling is a big part of it, it really is. Um, GOC found that very first interview they did, went over it in her live on Friday. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I love Guilty of a Crime. Jay does such an amazing job. I really appreciate all of her coverage, and just taking an eagle-eyed look at things, and and then getting closer and really examining and deep diving. She's really good at that. Um, yeah, Shadow. He's so special, and people want to hear about Sebastian, So, yes, thank you, Chi Chi. When you get into the Discord, just please come find me so I can make sure you are who you say you are. Yeah, and that's just to keep an extra layer of protection, and I appreciate you, Chuchi, for doing that because it does keep everybody safe. And um we want to keep it respectful in there. We joke around, we do, like, the gif wars, as Joe would call them, where we just put gifs in there and make each other laugh. But I hope it brightens everybody's day. And again, if it ever gets to the point where somebody's upset in there or uncomfortable, just always let me know. But I've been bad. I haven't been in there in a couple of days either. Well, just to ask about, because I never, like I said, I've never really had this lady on my radar before, so I wasn't trying to listen to a lot of what she was putting out, um, either. So, all comments you have earned with dignity and integrity and intelligence. Go, sister. Thank you, Kylie. That's so sweet. You guys are just so awesome. I just love hanging out with you guys. And, um, Cheryl says, we will never stop looking for you. Sebastian Strong. That's right. That's right. Aw. Kiki says, I'm almost caught up and I'm amening all the way. In my opinion. I mean, gosh, I just can't believe it. I'm so sidetracked. No, sideswiped, probably. I'm sidetracked too because I wasn't thinking about talking about this kind of stuff. But yeah, I can't believe it, right? Poor Seth. I mean, I hate to be like, oh, I pity, no, it's just more like I just can't even believe the level of shit. Faye says, Sebastian, you become my little brother. Aw, Faye, that's so sweet. I love you and pray for your safe return. Thank you, Faye. That's so, so, so sweet of you. Prayers work, guys. And that's another thing, I know that Seth prays, and that's one thing that I am looking forward to is saying a prayer with everybody. It I know people don't think it makes an impact, but I think it does. Some people do, and some people are like, "Well, why would you do that?" That, you gotta do more, and we do. Both are true. But, when in doubt, when there's nothing that we feel like we can do that. So, aw, Sammy, member for 10 months, Sammy. Thank you so much for being a member for 10 months, spending my birthday that ends it in a 0 with the best people. Oh, is it your birthday today, Sammy? Oh my gosh, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Sammy. All right. I wish I could sing because I would sing you happy birthday, but that is so cool. Oh, the hands. I wonder if Jay saw the Only Hands video. I've been meaning to email her. I've just been so darn busy. So, oh my gosh. They are sausage fingers is what comes to mind. Bling and Beezy says, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, we will never stop searching for you. You deserve to be reunited with your dad. You are so loved by the world. Your warm, beautiful smile has captured many hearts. Oh, Bling and Beezy, that is so nice. And I agree. There's just something about Sebastian too, right? He's just so silly too, the green tea, just his funny personality, the stories that we've heard about him, and just how intelligent he is. um yeah, anybody, it would be a pleasure knowing him. I can't say the same about Chris and Katie. you know um Aw, thank you, Maui, for saying happy birthday. Aw, Sammy, I'm just glad you're here. I had no idea it was your birthday. My goodness. I need to start a birthday list for you guys too, so I can remember, everybody's birthday, because I was doing good and making birthday videos for people, and I'm just like, ugh. Um, I know it's just going to be so busy by the time. Ugh. I mean, oh gosh, but it's a good thing. But I just know I'm going to be so, like, from here on out running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And now I have this crazy lady on my radar, and I'm like, is she the green hoodie? Is she not? When she just tell us no. Um, but it's all good to keep your brain moving, right? And trying to figure out, what's going on here because it is bizarre. If it wasn't mysterious, then we would have already maybe figured this out. But oh, good, Kiki. I'm so glad you're here. Detroit says, yes, she did. Look. Oh, thank you, Kiki. Love you, lady. Had to get caught up. Thank you, Kiki, so much for your super chat. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad you did. I know it's hard sometimes because when I come into a live stream, that's when I'm always like, oh, I bet you I'm gonna have to go back in the replay. But sometimes if you play at double speed, get caught up easily. Oh yes, Poppy Love, because oh my gosh, like everything because of the way everything like how they pay is once a month. So like today would be the last day of the pay periods type of thing on YouTube. So yeah. Yeah, if you send me a Venmo, just I will make sure what I have to do is check my other email because I have it on my other phone and it's attached to a separate email too. Which I didn't really realize that, when I set it up. For some reason, I thought it was on my Lady Freedom, but, um, it's not. It's to my old work email, and I'm like, "Well, why did it send it there?" Um, yeah, absolutely, I know, too long. Let's find Sebastian. Yeah, and I hope you have the best birthday. So that's cool that it falls on a Friday, so you'll have Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully, you get to relax and, spend it fun with, having fun, Sammy. That's so cool. Aw, I'm so glad. And thank you for letting us know too. I have a whole I have a team, Chuchi. Oh my god. I wish next thing you know, she's gonna give me a secretary and a treasurer. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Next thing she knows, she's gonna say, Lady Freedom needs to fire her secretary because she hasn't answered an email in 4 days. Oh my gosh. Kiki, does my voice sound like a chipmunk when you put me on double speed? One time I did that I forget who I was listening to, and I was like, whoa, I gotta slow this down. I put them up to way too fast. I forgot who I was listening to. So, um, yeah, I did, Shadows, in the Dark, I did. I tried to. I was like, "What's going on here?" And see, in the spirit of transparency and, I would just hope that people would have a conversation, but then again, when you're not dealing with a full deck, it can be tough, you know? Faye, that's for sure. That is for sure. Sebastian is radiating light, and he really is. Yeah, I'll never forget whenever Seth was asked, what is Sebastian like? And he said, he's like the sun coming through the clouds. When you see him, you're gonna smile, right? Because he's just he's just that way, and we know people that have that kind of light and energy, and it's just always a pleasure being around them or knowing them. So, but Kiki, I try not to laugh too loud, because I know, Nate's sleeping back there, but then again, he was coughing. I was like, "Are you okay back there?" Um, she's a trip. I'm telling you what. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Oh, Kylie, I'm gonna have to hear. I haven't watched the Flintstones in a while, but you guys got me wanting to watch it because of we were talking about Chris being like Fred Flintstone, and I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, listen here, woman. I'm like, oh geez. Yeah, I just wish that we could know, Shadows in the Dark. I because I don't want to accuse anybody of something that they didn't do, but I was also just so curious, and just to know that they've known Chris was involved in all of this again. I just don't, you know, I don't see how it all fits still. I'm a little bit confused, but I have a deeper understanding, than I did. So, hmm, like a deer prancing in the forest, right? I know, Brenda. And those are the things that, Seth does such a great job of painting a picture of who Sebastian is, his essence, right? Like we all have that about us, those special things about us that only special people in our lives know about us, and who's more special than your parents. Um yeah. And I don't know, it just really makes me sad sometimes because I know for a fact that my mom would come look for me. I just know she would. She would tear apart the earth to find me. And so I wish Sebastian had more of that. Um because he deserves it, what he doesn't deserve is all this craziness, um like the starstruck thing for Chris Proudfoot. Like when I see him, I just think he looks like an ape, a caveman ape. Now you guys got me thinking caveman. So, oh, today's your mom's birthday also, Faye. We'll tell her we said happy birthday. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my goodness. Today is your son's birthday, Ann Brock. Well, happy birthday to your son. Oh my gosh, we have a lucky birthday day today. Oh my goodness. Oh, and then I'll also, guys, because I'm making a video to do the trivia with. So I'm gonna put it up like even after the fact. So if you guys want to watch it, or like if you have older kids, because it's not like I said, even the horror movie part isn't bad. It's not going to be like super scary or anything like that. So it just would be fun, like if you guys ever wanted to, put it on the big screen, but you'd have to pause and stuff like that. But just something fun. It's just something different. Um, just a chance for us to all come in. So oh yeah, I know. NorCal SoGal, yes. It's a sad thing that we're reaching the 2-year anniversary of Sebastian's disappearance. Only one parent, Seth, seems to be concerned about finding his son, in my opinion. I think that part is what bothers me the most, NorCal SoGal, because there's a lot to be bothered by in this case, but I think the fact that they are not doing anything, they have not done anything. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe they will for the 2-year anniversary, and I'm just hoping that, no problems arise, but it just breaks my heart. It just really does. Again, with their military background, I don't see how they're not forming search parties. And even if you don't want to work with the other parent for whatever reason, I understand that. I've been divorced, I get it. But I mean, you would think they'd be doing those searches together, like as two seamen out in the woods getting it done. Not so much, you know the voicemail of him asking his daddy to bring oh, I know, Kylie. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That voicemail of him asking his daddy to bring him nicer clothes so he can look handsome for picture day. I lose it every time. It's just raw emotion from Seth. I know. And his little voice was so cute. Um Sebastian always any pictures I just wanna say that any pictures that I've seen of Sebastian, when they would show, because Katie had posted a couple, on his birthday, and he always looked handsome for picture day, so, um, and that's important to a lot of the kids. They wanna look nice, it builds their confidence, oh, man. So, Captain Caveman, oh my goodness. Dare we call him Captain? Captain Cooterfoot. I don't know that we should give him that much, you know? Poor Seth is left with the thoughts constantly, and it's nothing a parent should have to experience. Yeah, and like for this lady to be guilting, I mean, I understand he probably doesn't go over and look at her posts a lot or whatever. I'm sure he tries to ignore, I can't speak for him, but I'm sure he tries to ignore a lot of it. But it's kind of hard when you have somebody that's that, unhinged. It's difficult, Um, and you have to be aware when people are that crazy, and then for her to be like, "Well, you need to focus on other kids." I don't know where that crazy thinking comes. I really don't. Because I've seen Seth come in here before and we were talking about Devlin and he's like, "I really hope they find Devlin soon," and I appreciate him when he pops in and says that because, that just means a lot to me, but I also know it takes a lot to care about anybody else. It's just like if your boat's sinking in the ocean, you're not going to worry about somebody else's, right? You're worried about yours. You're going to take care of yourself so you could take care of someone else or can help someone else. Um it's the same concept. Seth should not be expected to do anything besides focus on his son, focus on the people who love and care for him, that want to support him. Um, that's where his focus should be, right? And he shouldn't be expected to do anything at all. I don't expect anything besides what he can do. That's all. And my heart does hurt for Seth too, Kiki. It really does. I had no idea that it was this bad, you know? Yeah. Gigi, she shows up with no evidence to court, right? Not one piece, right? But then she's got Chris Proudfoot and his mom in tow. Unbelievable. Like, whose mom allows for that, you know? Johnny Bravo. But he sure seems lucky as hell in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, he does, Brenda. He sure does. He's gotten damn lucky, you know? So, oh, Lollipop's birthday is today also. Happy birthday to all the birthday people. My goodness, we do have a lot of birthdays. Aw, happy birthday to everyone. I need to make like a birthday video that I could load in here so I could play it. Katie's absolute lack of give. Yeah. Just to sit and bully and defame your son. Yeah, with that behemoth. Mhm, exactly, Kylie. Looking idiot. It just seems the most vile act ever. I agree. I agree. It's vile and then, to allow for anybody, I don't care how much you don't like the other parent. You don't allow for people to do that either. Let alone participate. Doing something more productive to help. Oh, I know that struck a nerve with many of us. So, yeah. Uh, I just want Katie to tell us where she can, use some help, Sammy, you know? Hey, I'm not discriminatory when it comes to finding Sebastian. If somebody wants to, give insight, I'm all ears, especially when it's his mom who was with him last. But she says those kinds of things, but she never elaborates on it, because it's just, something to say because she wants to make a joke of it. She wants to make light of the situation. Um, as a local, NorCal SoGal says, I implore all other locals concerned about Sebastian, please plan to come out and support Seth for the voices for Sebastian. Let's show Sumner County how much we care. And that is the main goal. Thank you, NorCal SoGal. That is so well said because that is what needs the most focus, right? Not on somebody that's saying, I'm going to fly the drones and da da. But I do want people to be aware of that. When I was there for Pig Fest, we did not have any of that going on. It was actually the complete opposite of chaos. It was again, love and support, and that's what's needed, because love conquers all, right? I mean, not to sound cliche, but oh gosh, Miss Anne, I don't know how much more snow you guys can take. When Betty and Chris went to court, she came in the courtroom with a folder for Chris. Oh my gosh. You know, what kind of well, here, let me show you guys this. Gigi, I'll leave your comment up. I didn't mean to take it down. That reminds me. I wanted to point this out, and I'm so glad you said that. Thank you, Gigi. So, in this short, let me go ahead. Okay, this is let me go ahead and show you guys something. This crazy woman decided that she was going to print out. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. Oh, that's the sheriff's office. And I don't know what she means by diverse either. That was really strange, wasn't it? I mean, I thought that was weird as all get out. Okay. Here's the one I think. Yeah. So if we look at this, she printed this out. Like she took the time with her black and white printer that she prints the missing flyers out on, and she printed this from Seth's page. So, what in the world? How this right here also look, black and white, right? Picture, and this is from Seth's account. And she printed it off probably to show Mr. Proudfoot and Katie and put it in another file folder for him and Cruella and whoever else wanted information. But what is the deal? All Seth is saying here is that he wants people to not be swayed by distractions, to stay strong, that he's grateful for our efforts, that he wants to bring Sebastian home, that he will not stop, that he's gracious and determined. Why do you have to be such a fucking weirdo? Sorry, guys. Why do you have to be such a weirdo that you will print? I mean, you can see where she printed it out. And then she puts it in a file folder for Chris. Gigi, I was blown away. I'm so glad you said that because I was like, oh hell no. When I got the text to see this, right? Um And thank God, because I can't keep up with all of this madness. I just can't retrieve past data statements. What is data statement about this? If you give this to a judge, that judge should commit you, right? We need a hold, right? And I do believe that, Faye. I think karma will get these people, you know? Yeah, it is, it is. No, I totally get it, Shadows in the Dark. I just get so dang frustrated with them, trying to um act like Katie and Chris are just so caring of the other missing people and Seth isn't. And even if he's not, I don't care. I would still support him because he needs to focus on his child. And then for her to be like, "Oh, Mr. Rogers, I implore you to." No, why don't you take your ass someplace else, print out your own flyers, and you choose which flyers you want to pass out? Do I think all the kids need awareness? Yes. Does Seth think that? Without speaking for him, I would bet my bottom dollar he just, and he said it the other day. I was listening to something where he was talking, and he said that it brings him so much hope, right? To see other missing children be found, and he's working on Sebastian's Law, those types of things. But when he doesn't have his child, at the end of the day, it brings him a lot of pain and a lot of heartache, and I just think that we should allow him to have that time and space and worry about Sebastian and not, you know, try to make him try to take a just, take away from Sebastian. We already have Chris and Katie doing that. To me it's just absolutely ludicrous, you know? Cooterfoot. I love Cooterfoot. It's so funny, Jen. They say that in here. It makes me laugh too. Oh, and Lori. Guys, I have some different pictures of Lori. I suppose that lady that was standing out by Katie's vehicle doesn't look like the same Lori that I saw in these other pictures. So I'm still trying to figure that out because I know we got to get the right one. I just and Bling and Beezy says I just wonder what role Lori plays in this since she lives in Illinois. I find it very disturbing that she was there with KP by the time Seth got to KP's house. Did she take Sebastian, in my opinion? It makes me wonder too, you know? It does. It makes me wonder too. Oh my gosh, you got more snow, Kiki? 5 inches? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. See, and we got like a wind advisory, but nothing too major. Golly, I thought you guys were gonna at least get a break for a little bit from the snow. So, but how do I if I can't ever never done it? I know, I know. Brenda says crazy thinking comes from math, in my opinion, and wonder if there are paid agitators by the guilty, in my opinion. Well, and I think it's safe to say that there are now. Brenda, again, it's kind of like when we were going over the statement by the United Cajun Navy saying they don't want Sebastian, or excuse me, there's people that don't want Sebastian found. It's the same thing here. There's absolutely harassment going on towards Seth. And for what? And then she does it in the name of Sebastian. The audacity is just, I don't even know that there's words for it. Kiki, I'm not sure how old she is, but she looks like she's in her 60s, in my opinion. And I don't mean that to be rude, just, speculation. The recording is heartbreaking. It is, Detroit. But when you hear him speak, he is very articulate and smart. Yes. How dare they make everyone believe he was so impaired? I know. I don't know. It does make me angry too, because we were looking for a totally different kid, weren't we, Detroit? You know? Thank you, Gigi. 63, I think. Yeah, or 65. Um, yeah, that was my guess. Chris and Katie were busy stalking the searchers. They didn't have time to search for Sebastian. I agree with that. I do. I was referring to that earlier, Faye, with the tire slashing and stuff, because, Miss Texana is saying, oh, we need to be careful because the Seth's crew and vehicles. Well, to the best of my knowledge, nobody in Seth's crew has ever, nor would they ever, be so unhinged as to take it out on somebody's vehicle, that they're upset about the situation. There's a big difference between how people who support Seth act and how people who support Katie and Chris act. And in my opinion, it's a direct response, right? And there's a direct correlation to the way that Chris and Katie act and the way that Seth acts. Um, the people who like to see a father searching relentlessly and tirelessly for his missing child are the people that Seth is going to attract. Just like Chris and Katie are going to attract people who want to see the drama and want to see Katie up on the panel acting a fool. Those are the people they're going to attract, you know? So, oh, she uses the AI. Oh, well, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Oh, Lolly. Okay. I was like, okay, I missed something. Seth never runs to the internet to show his victimizing being done. Yeah, I say that's respectfully. He is a honorable dude. I agree, Sam. I mean, and even just the fact that he's not focused on it, but again, when she's saying, "Well, I'm gonna come to the gathering of voices where you're at." I mean, how can you not? I mean, even when you try to ignore people like that, it's difficult, especially if they're taking actions on it. Now, if this lady was just saying, stuff from wherever state she lives in, that would be a total different situation, right? Like people wouldn't even bat an eyelash. They'd be like, "Oh well, that lady, she's always talking," But I mean, she shows up, and it's kind of weird. So, you all are so beautiful. And so are you, Detroit. So are you. Yeah, Print and Cut does she allegedly have a wall that's a shrine with letters glued? Oh Lord. I know. Kiki, I mean, this takes a lot of effort. That's such a good point. It takes a tremendous amount of effort with this lady. It's so disturbing. Yeah, the fact that the others can't see through CP and KP's BS is like, what the F? I know. Little Miss Sharon, I'm so surprised always at the amount of people that are like, yeah. And then I'm like, well, I guess they just like the other people in the chat and they want to um impress them because I'm like, there's got to be a reason for that. Yes, KJ Mac, exactly. Exactly. I'm glad Seth is focused on Sebastian and not pretending to create charities for the children of the world like Foot. No kidding. And they've never done anything like that either, KJ. They have every resource at their fingertips. I mean, they could do that, especially with Chris the way he travels. He could be putting up missing posters of his own missing stepson, but he chooses not to, and that's what's so crazy to me. It just really is. So, Jen, that's okay. I know. I had to figure I forgot how old I was turning my last birthday. I was like, "Oh no, that's not a good sign." So, I'm like, "Oh no." Um, yeah, I know. Bling and BZ, this weather has been crazy. Green Hoodie and team wants everyone to forget about Sebastian and find other child. Well, I mean, that's my opinion too, Tully. That's why I got so angry when I saw those posts. I was like, oh, hell no. How could they expect Seth to be focused on that? And if that and why would she address Seth when she could just ask Chris and Katie to do that, right? Don't they owe her one? Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. NorCal SoGal says, I can't believe it's nearly 2 years anniversary of Sebastian's disappearance and how much I think about him and the circumstances and the case, and yet thinking what his father Seth must be going through. Well, and he's been going through just hell with this whole situation, and that's what's so crazy, um, NorCal, because we don't hear Seth complaining, but if that was happening to Chris, he would be complaining all the time, right? Just nonstop. Oh, everybody's against us. Da, 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 they're bashing us. Da, da. Okay, well, I understand it happens. People do become unhinged and they do act out. I get it. I've had it happen to me. Some of us know exactly how that is. And it's not right, no matter who it happens to. Um, but Seth just keeps going, you know, and again, it's just commendable with the way that he's handled things because I don't know many people that would be able to continue on um, with that big load of crap every day that she's pulling and, everything he posts, even if it's a nice, heartfelt, you know, um, message to his followers or supporters, she's printing it out. It's unbelievably insane. Well, stay warm, Miss Ann Brock. I hope you stay warm there. How would CP act if that was his daughter? It's sickening and sad that the way he portrays Sebastian. Yeah, and the relationship between Faith and Sebastian was a very inaccurate portrayal too, Detroit. I agree. And um, really unfair and, in my opinion, false. I mean, yeah. Do you guys believe that Chris was behind the lawyer who the GoFundMe of Seth and disappeared? Oh, who dealt with the GoFundMe of Seth and disappeared? I don't know. I think that Chris could have been behind a lot of these people. Um like as if he said, hey, they were like, hey, get a hold of Seth, kind of a thing. I could definitely see that, Faye. Even on different levels, like even in other instances, you know. So I wish I could think positively about Sebastian's mother, but as a mother myself, I can spot the issues just like Lady Freedom. Yeah, and that's the thing, Norcal. You kind of, it's like with Katie, it's just so obvious. Like, I kept waiting, and maybe I'm a fool because I was like waiting. I'm like, any minute Katie's gonna say something about Sebastian, right? Like she's gonna use her time on this platform to talk about her son. And I mean, Queen Bee had, I think, about 1,000 people, a little over 1,000 people in the chat. And I know a lot of people know about Sebastian that were in there, but it does feel good. And what if he's out there listening? You know, what if he's out there listening and nothing? I mean, that would hurt so bad for any of us to hear our mom doing that. Yeah, he did want him taken down, Tina. He did. He did. Oh, yes, Kiki, that is good news. Lady Good News, FBI is checking into DHS in Tennessee for abuse and also receiving so much funds. I told you it was weird that they even mentioned nonprofits allegedly. Oh my gosh. I'm wondering who all's going to be involved in that, if anybody is involved, and that's the thing, guys, when we push a little bit, and I'm not talking about being hateful or hurting other people or harassing or stalking or anything. But when we put a little bit of pressure on the situation as the public, it's a good thing, right? Because it gets people aware of the situation that weren't, but then also it helps for law enforcement to see that we care, right? Because they do, for lack of a better way to say it, work for us. And that's just kind of the way it is. Um, Although I would like it to be more of a working together type of thing. So, like, if we send something in, you know, please look into it by all means. NorCal says, "OMG, Lady Freedom, you're too young to be wondering your age." I seriously didn't know. I was like, "How old am I?" Let me Google. I always get confused because my birthday's in December, and then I'm like, "Wait, no, I'm turning." Okay, yeah, that's right. Like, so, yes, been there, done that, but once you hit the biggins, if that's too funny. I know, like, I don't even worry about it. I'm just like, well, um, I don't care, or I don't know if you knew, Lady, but Duchess awareness went back to the yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did see that, but, they never addressed that either, Sam. That was weird. I don't know why, Jay, that's how I found out was Jay, um, sent like showed the kickback. But I don't know why they didn't address that on the panel they were on either. They never addressed that. It's just zero accountability. Um, you usually address things and then that way, get it over with. So that's right, Faye. That's what it was being alleged that Chris's coworkers didn't even know he had a stepson. And then he didn't even show back up to Chris and Katie's residence until 1:30 that day. You mean to tell me Lori was there before Seth, and then Seth arrives, and then here comes Chris Proudfoot at 1:30? I don't know. Yeah, he didn't even want her recording Nina, yeah, want her according to Nina, Jen, and that's the craziest thing, right? Um, how unfortunate, but it's anything to hurt the other parent, you know? So, Hello, Tien Nurse. Good to see ya. If we only knew what she was telling him at the Texas Roadhouse. I know, Shadow. I mean, his body language was definitely nervous, and her body language was aggressive in my opinion, you know? So, I don't think anybody did. Um to the best of my knowledge, Texana just lost in court, Tully. They didn't get any, nobody got any money exchange. It was all dropped, you know? So, we can't see her lips moving, no. I almost wonder if all of the creators talking might have done something weird. Well, it probably did. I think so. I mean, that video put out by Psalms Kiki, I mean, that was really uncovering the corruption big time, wasn't it? I mean, especially through CPS, like, or DHS even, you know? Yeah, that's true, Brenda. Maybe they didn't want money from people. They did something to their kid, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so too. That's my opinion. I think something happened there. Whether, they facilitated him going someplace else or something worse, I think that they know, you know? So, he is stuck now, in my opinion. He would have moved on, yeah, to number 6 by now. I think that's a strong point, Detroit. I really do. I think that if Chris didn't have involvement, he wouldn't be around, you know? I can't stand to think about the horrible theories, but has anyone heard about Banfield's case? There's some real devious that goes out there. I think that's what we're dealing with here, unfortunately. Well, I mean, the family is questionable, and then also these new friends that they have, or old friends. I still don't know the connection, you know? I know my heart breaks too. I have a sick feeling, Bling and Beezy. I do get so choked up in tears, flow like a river. Oh my goodness. Well, I just hate the fact that Sebastian trusted Katie. You can tell he trusted her, you know? So, Norkel says I ran out of room, in my opinion. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, guys, because I want to be back at 2:30. I just need to get a couple more questions added to the trivia. I think it'll be really fun. Thank you guys so much for gifting memberships, and I can't wait to see you guys. Um, Tomorrow it'll just be, or well, today it'll just be so much fun for us all to get together and have some laughs and talk about, different topics, just for a change. I mean, we'll still talk more about um Sebastian for a little bit, and maybe Devlin too for tomorrow. I was going over an interview, and I just wanted to clarify a few things before I posted it. So, just because I do have, the people that know, I'm in contact with them, so I figure I better get some clarity that way. There, I don't have to do any like corrections or anything. So, that's why I didn't post that video, but thank you, Brenda Calvert. Says prayers for Seth and Sebastian. Good night, Shadow. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I want to see the full video, Tully. I just want to see it from start to finish. And if they could get other camera angles, that would be great, you know. So thank you so much. And thank you, Kiki, for being here. Thank you, little Miss Sharon. I really appreciate you guys with the green hearts. Um, thank you so very, very much. You guys are so awesome. And like I said, we're gonna have a good time tomorrow. And then for anybody that can't make it to the trivia, I'll do it, I'll share it out after the live, and you guys could, have fun with your family, or, do so, even if you play like one part of it or something like that. I don't know. It should be fun. All right, Kiki. Yeah, give me a call. Give me a call. Thank you, Faye. Oh, love you too, Tully. Thank you. I will see you guys at 2:30 Eastern.